think the performance of the airline is improving. We're coming from a very tough period over the last 3 years, clearly driven by, a perfect storm, all the things that we faced, but also our own commercial weaknesses. I think 2016 should be a better year. We have a turnaround strategy that we are applying right now, and we should see that actually beginning to bear fruit in 2016 into 17. SkyTeam is an important part of our business. Today we partner, we code share and also fly into quite a number of SkyTeam hubs in Amsterdam, in Paris, in Hanoi, in Guangzhou. And we are leveraging the SkyTeam network to fly people on our network. Today, when I look at the passenger numbers that are carried on us from SkyTeam, we have about 10 to 15% of our passengers from SkyTeam. There is no question that we need to have an improvement in infrastructure, both airspace management and airspace investment, as well as infrastructure on the ground. If you look at the position, for example, in Nairobi, our hub, we're only now getting to a semblance of a terminal, both arrivals and departure, after the fire, that actually are able to serve us. So we're able now to have a hub which we can actually sell. If you look right across Africa, a lot of the infrastructure needs a lot of investment. When you look at aeronautical infrastructure, which is from ATC point of view, there's a lot of investment that still needs to be made, because Africa, from that perspective, is still an expensive place to do business. Today, 60% of my revenue is generated from Africa. In our revised business model, clearly we're densifying our strategy, creating much deeper penetration into Africa, because Africa needs to be that source base. Making sure we can connect Africa better through our hub, and then as a second step, be able to leverage that into the places we fly to internationally, selected routes, and working with partners in those routes into SkyTeam hubs and beyond those SkyTeam hubs with the SkyTeam partners. I would like to see an Africa where people operate visa-free. We are 50 years since Africa's independence, more than 50 years, and we still have visa restrictions right across Africa. African governments talk about the fact that there should be free movement of people across Africa, but today we still have restrictions, and you find different blocks having different visa requirements. For me, that's a priority. That is the only way we will stimulate true movement across Africa. If there are concerns around security, that should be dealt through the security organs, but we should be able to allow that free movement of people. We've been part of the e-freight initiative. We are part of the commitment through IATA to do that. I think it's about simplifying the way we work. It's about reducing the cost of business and actually making sure there's more transparency. I think it should help to particularly on traceability and making sure that we can actually do the billing right and all that process. So I think it will definitely contribute to it. If I think about the future of Africa, if I think about why people still come to Africa, one of the big things is still around tourism. And tourism is linked to not only sun and sand, but also wildlife. And for me, I do not want to be in a situation where come 15, 20 years, or my children or my children's children do not have something to enjoy, number one. Number two, we are not able to enjoy the visitors who come to actually enjoy the flora and fauna of our countries. So from that perspective, it is important for us to be involved. I think the second thing, I think we owe it to our countries, we owe it to the region to make sure that we are protecting what we have today. IATA is important to us because it also helps us to lobby for a lot of the fair business practices. If I look at some of the topical things we've had this week, we have a lot of money stuck in a lot of parts of Africa. IATA is helping us to try and unlock that. When we talk about cost of doing business in Africa, IATA is working with us regularly on that. When we talk about how do we increase the density of travel in Africa through Yamoussoukro or freeing up open skies and stuff like that, IATA is working with us and AFRA. So IATA is really, for us, a very good force for us to actually drive also the maturity of lobbying and engagement with governments.